Welcome to the Stronger Together podcast. I'm your coach, Kenny Marquardt, and today I'm joined by Aaron Vahrenwald. Aaron is one of my favorite folks at the gym because he's always got energy, he's always got a smile, and he's always he's got a good perspective on his pursuit of fitness and personal development, and it's cool. I like Aaron a lot, and I think you're going to enjoy our conversation. All right. After some technical difficulties, we are back live for a third try here or there. Are you there?
I'm
last
here.
Time okay, good. Last time I said I've done that, and then it's been quiet.
Yep, the charm.
Yep. All right. Aaron Vahrenwald, everybody. We always start these things talking about how people start at the gym, and I remember this because you were in my house every day when you started at the gym.
I was working, let's be clear.
No way.
Or something.
Well, you were just trying to be my fitness apprentice, and then finally I made you come to the gym instead of stalking me at my own home.
Yeah. Something that was like always lingering out there. And it was just a sign when I was working on your house. I was like, all right, I got to do this.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure if I thought you were going to dig it. And now you're such a big CrossFit guy now. So I think that's a cool, I don't know. I guess I'm not sure what that means. That I wasn't sure if you'd like it or not, but I just think I knew you were out active in the outdoors, and I knew you skied, and I knew you water skied and snow skied, and I knew you did a bunch of stuff, but I don't know if I took you for a gym guy, and then now here you are.
Yeah. Would you, do you do that regularly? Do you try to kind of be like, where's this person going to be at? Or you just have your kind of standard steps and see what they fall into?
I think without trying to, I think I always have an opinion of just how somebody's going to enjoy it or not. And I'm almost always wrong.
Yeah.
Well, it is to a fault where I'm I don't know. I hear what they're saying. I'm excited for them to get started, but I'm not sure this is their thing.
There are people are probably consistently more eager, in that meeting. I remember that time frame, you want it to go. You want to get done with that meeting. You want to be in class. That's how I felt. People want to see their results tomorrow. It's kind of bring it down to earth.
Yeah, that's true. And I think that there's I actually had a conversation like that today with somebody. And it was just, I think the process is what I wonder how much people are going to fall in love with, because it's so much the thing.
Yeah.
The results are great, but the process where you just kind of have to settle in and realize this is just what I do. I think that's where I question, okay, how long is somebody going to be here? And again, that's not to be cynical. That's just, I think, the biggest hurdle for people to get over. So that's the thing I wonder the most about how that's going to go for them, because anybody can do something for 2 weeks. But to stick with it for years and years and years, and to making fitness a part of somebody's life, I guess what I'm trying to convey. I wonder how much is actually going to stick, because that's my goal.
Yeah. And I mean, because in that 2 weeks, you're probably feeling good. You're probably sleeping better. You're eating better, and you see probably noticeable results. And it's just then after that, then it's the real struggle of not PRing again or failing something, or just okay, you're past that honeymoon stage, and just to push people through that time and time again, because it happens your entire gym career,
Yeah.
Because I remember,
100%.
when I started with Nick, I was he's kind of work pushing, or getting me through movements and workouts, and I was I'm just dude, I could do more than that. I can do it faster, but it's really cool to understand the movements, and then as soon as you get in class, you're already progressing on that. And I think that tricks your mind into really feeling good about it,
Totally. Yeah, good. I'm glad to hear that. I mean, again, it's one of those, I like to apologize to anybody that had to deal with Nick when they got started. Not really. He's awesome. Of course, he knows that. Yeah, and I think that there's a life cycle where it's hard in the beginning, but there's something that feels rewarding about it being hard, but you also see the result. It's kind of this quick hits of dopamine where it's hard, but you feel better. It's hard to feel better, and you see, you get better. But I think where people start to kind of falter is when it's those longer periods of you take a break, or you have another season or you have to get started again. And those can be really hard to get back over. I think there's like a little bit of, I don't know, like withdrawal or like addiction, like kind of that same kind of thing where like, oh my gosh, I have to go through that again. Like that's going to be so hard.
Yeah. Or you anticipate your body's going to be way worse than it actually is. And
Right.
after that first day, you're just like, oh, okay, that wasn't that bad. But yeah, after 2 weeks, you're like, what's another day? And
Yeah.
it's going to suck when I get back in there. But that first day you get back, I don't know, it must just be like terrible short term memory or something because you've somehow your brain tricks you to think it's not going to feel good. You know, it's easier to go home and just eat a big pizza or something like that. But then you do it and you're like, why can't my brain grasp that I should just do this every day at 5 and I should be excited to do that? You know what I mean?
Totally.
And yeah, it's just that quick relief. But at the same time, then you also get in some of those workouts and you're just like, what was I thinking? And you still come back because you're chasing that. I don't know. It's just that up and down that kind of I guess is exciting, you know?
I think our bodies and our minds are they have this constant struggle between immediate gratification and long term. And like there's obviously stuff in the middle of that, but even like going to bed early, like I've never met anybody who's not like, yeah, if I go to bed early, I feel better the next day. Like, but the amount of people that actually do it are so few and far between. The amount of people that are like, I know I shouldn't be on my phone until midnight when I need to get up at 7. Like the amount of people that know that, and then the amount of people that just ignore it and do it anyway because of the immediacy of the dopamine or whatever chemical there is interacting in their brains. The same with like you said, it feels better to eat a pizza. Like immediately, it feels better. Afterwards, probably not.
Yeah. No, I mean, even after a long day, I'm just like, I want to stay up and relax and watch some TV. You know, it's like you would think like, I should go to sleep. It's been a long, hard day. But yeah, there's something in your mind like, no, I'm going to stay up. Screw it. Just
Yeah,
go for it. You know, I need some me time. And then next morning, I mean, you're like, what was I thinking? Or even I'll have thoughts of the next day and I'll get all hyped up and I'm going to do this, and this. You know, I mean, we're like, I'm going to go to the gym at 6 and they wake up and hit snooze and they're like, what was I how come my brain can't talk to me this morning? My last night brain can't talk to this morning, you know?
totally, 100%. And I think that's the same. It's on a micro and macro cycle where it's that brain in December versus January or whatever people get back on the thing. It's like, hey, dummy, we know what we're supposed to do here, but we're gonna just drive this thing off the rails anyway. Just keep doing the same thing over and over. But I do think that that's like kind of the all or nothing that gets people in trouble. Is that it's okay. Like you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to, and I think that's where people get discouraged. Like God, I'm so dumb. I screwed it up. I didn't go to the gym for whatever, so I might as well just stop. And it's just not. I just don't think that's the case. So
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I mean, we're all totally different in our journey, right? I mean, if somebody goes 2 days a week, that's still phenomenal. And somebody goes 5 or 7 days, but we just have these huge comparisons of seeing people get these huge results as like pro athletes. You know, I'm sure you've talked about this 1,000 times, but just those are, I mean, I think we're truly a different person than some of these pro athletes that their brains just wired differently, their muscles are different, you know, like, and so just kind of focusing more on how you feel. It's like if you go and you're feeling better and 2 times a week works for you, then great. You don't need to see these huge results and compete and tear your body up. But yeah.
totally. I think there's a bit of a magnification of that now with social media too, because you get these little glimpses into the ideal without the real overarching picture of the some of the parts, like where you don't understand what it took to get somebody there, what their life looks like. Like again, you made a perfect reference in the professional athletes. Like that's all they have to do. Like they have to work out and take naps, and somebody's feeding them, and they get supplement sponsors. Like that's a different lifestyle than I have and that you have. Like so, I'm not sure that's you can't really compare those two things.
Yeah. And I think you're right. Just, I mean, genetically they have muscles but also it's all about brain function too, whether you're sleeping. And so if you can take stress out of somebody's life and they're not having to worry about food and things like that, I think I can't even understand, but I'm sure that makes such a huge difference if you take your 40-hour work week out of your schedule and you can just come to the gym in a clear-headed mindset, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That's your only focus.
Yeah. Well, so I want to talk about your sports too, because that's, you're high, you ski, water ski at a pretty high level. Like I know you water skied. I just don't have the context to understand how high or how, like, but you water ski at a pretty high level, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, I started water skiing when I was 6 years old, and it's there's always been the style of going out and trying to lean against the wake and touch your body against the wake and then have a big spray. But kind of what we focus on is that there's a three events of water skiing. It's jump, where you have two skis and see how far you can jump. Trick, you're on more of like a skateboard without any fins, and you're doing more like wakeboard tricks. And then I personally do the slalom style, where there's six buoys and the boat has a direct path. And once you've gone a certain speed making all six buoys, then you start shortening the line length. And your goal is to see how short you can make that rope while still getting around those buoys. So as you shorten that rope, you're getting more of a width behind the boat, meaning you've got to control your speed going into the buoy. So it's kind of this, you're striving for this perfect swing, I want to say, not pulling too hard, not pulling too short, so you can get that width. I think I competed in that until I was about 20 years old, and then started doing school and I think social life. Not all my friends did it, so I just kind of took a break from that. But riding for a local shop, Bakes Marine out of Issaquah, Washington, did a good share of regionals and nationals tournaments, won a U.S. championship in 2005. So that was kind of like my high peak performance in high school. And again, I think it's just like you just have these summers off, man. I took all my senior money and I from graduation and just said, I'm not working this summer. It's my like last chance to just kind of be free. And I remember there's these the ski course is about thousand feet long, and so they make these man-made lakes that are 2,200 feet long, just big enough for the course. And there's probably 9 or 10 of those in Washington. And so I remember just kind of trying to fit my way in on any lake I could find, and just, I mean, just good courtesy of being polite, bringing boat gas and helping out around the lake, and you get invited back. And just like any sport, I think you've had a lot of athletes on here. Just you meet this really cool community. I could probably go to Australia or Europe and just say, "Hey, I'm from Washington. This is what I do," and they'd be like, "Heck yeah, come on over." So it's just like any community. It's super cool to be a part of. And then I guess I'm super stoked too. Like I feel like if you're in football, I don't really know what football and baseball like. I'm sure you can play casually, but this is a sport you can kind of keep growing with as you get older. I mean, at some point you're gonna start going backwards, but some of these guys just get so beat up in football, and that's I don't know what you would do afterwards. So
Yeah.
you can stay healthy and keep doing it.
Yeah, I totally agree. As we raise Garrison, there's a lot of that intentionality between like, hey man, like there's some stuff you can do for the rest of your life and that will serve you for the rest of your life. And there's some stuff that's very short term in your life and that you'll never ever do again. There's benefits to them, but at the same time, like you said, I think that's a cool, like all these people that I had Courtney Altringer on podcast, and she
Yeah.
she's one of the best skiers on the whole mountain here. Regardless, she's not competing anymore, but still, like that was a sport that serves her for the rest of her life, and she could still continue to experience that, which is neat. I played volleyball. Like I don't do that anymore. So I could. I just, it's just not something you can go out and do as a family necessarily. So
Yeah.
what, I want to know more about this. So that you said you shortened the rope. Like, you've been doing this since you were 6. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So you've been doing this 30 years.
Yeah.
Like at what point have you shortened? Like, is there still expectation that you're getting better? Like what is that? Because it seems so, and I'm not trying to like demean it, but the simpleness of that seems very simple. How does that change? Like, what are you trying to do now?
Yeah, and I think your question that when I was working on your house, you said like, what is it? Like, what's so satisfying, or what is it about water skiing? And yeah, I would say, I mean, it's the level of progression is could be just like CrossFit. I mean, I could potentially be progressing. We can measure the progression in a half buoy. That's where you get around the buoy and you let go of the handle and you wipe out, but you don't make it back to the weight. You just make it out there. It's a quarter buoy. So I mean, let's say my progression over the past 5 years has been 3 buoys. I mean, people again want to go out there and make a whole new line length. Um, I think it's just like this like consistency. We do it, probably do it 5 or 6 days a week once it's summertime and our lake is full. We're kind of, you don't know what boats are going to be out there. You don't know what the wind conditions are going to be like. You don't know how your body's going to act. So you kind of go out there, and it is such a simple sport, but every boat ski's different. Every ski's different. Water temperature, water depth. So as simple as it is, there's a lot of things that change, and you're just kind of, it's like fishing almost. You're just waiting for that day when everything kind of aligns, and it's I guess I don't even know how to explain this like perfect swing, but this rope turns almost solid where you're not getting slack, and you just come around this turn, and like the boats, like if you've gone tubing, and you've gotten your kids slack and then you hit them,
Yes.
they just fly. And that's a good way to explain it. But when you come around that and it's just linked up, there's just that like flow state that, and same thing snow skiing. There's so many sports. I think the biggest attraction, especially for like CrossFit, is that handle is kind of like the barbell.
Yeah.
You're doing Olympic lifts, you want that thing like right next to your hips. And I'm sure there's some sort of measurement, but as soon as that's 2 more centimeters away, then you're getting leverage and you're getting pulled out the front. Same thing like a deadlift. You're starting to round your shoulders. And so again, it sounds simpler to keep it close, but that boat is 1,500, 2,000 pounds and 300 horsepower. So you're really just trying to stay stacked, and it's just that simple movement. You can't watch it on a video. You can watch it on a video, but it's just not the same until you go out there and you see it and feel it. So
Yeah, I think I mean, I haven't done it to that. I've water skied, but never nowhere near to what you're talking about. But I have, I've surfed, I've skied, I've done a lot of like, I think the question's more in line with like, I think like when you say it that way, that you're just trying to shorten the rope, it sounds like there's a quantification of like, okay, well, I got that rope this short now. Like I won the day, or this is a PR. But now I think I understand it about it with that explanation, that it's more about the like, I know it's just like, that's that like you just lay down a turn that probably it's like, okay, cool. That felt awesome. Then with different varying conditions, I can see how that would change a lot, and that you're continuing to just kind of pursue that. So I get it.
yeah, it's just that perfect stability in that turn where you just like, you could let go of the rope and you'd just be standing up still. Like you wouldn't be falling over. Yeah. I mean, it's being out there sunrise. Nobody else is out there. I mean, I'm sure you see that hunting. I mean, there's just so many different, you train in the cold seasons, but you want to be out there when it's warm and nice. And you get your cool crew. I mean, you're dancing with your boat driver, like they can't swerve. They've got to be holding their line. So there's just so much to it. And it's kind of like, I'm so far into it too. I've always thought about like, oh, what if I did this? But I mean, to start something else too is like pretty daunting, right?
Yes.
Dabble always, I love to play other sports and do other things. I think you also arounds your brain pretty well, because I do such a strict thing that it's nice to approach my brain from different aspects, I feel like all that stuff will kind of come back again and kind of help whatever it is you're super focused on, or relieve it. You know what I mean? Have you ever like, when I moved here, I was just like, I'm from, Seattle. We've been here 9 or 10 years. I'm just like, if I could just have a crappy boat and ski every day, I'd be so good. But then you kind of get to these scenarios and then you do it every day and you're really surprised. Like, why am I not still improving? Or like, why can't I get over this hump? And so just, how can I approach this differently? Like, can I get strength and, mentally just being calm out there? Cause you see other boats upset you and just, yeah, things like that. And so it's just a matter of just like mental silence, I guess. I think that's, again, a lot of this correlates, or I correlate a lot back to exercising, and especially at the gym, it's just like you have so many other people around you and some people that are you're competing with, and you want to chase them, but you're like, if I just stick with my own plan in my own head, I use this a lot, whether it's work or gym. It's just like, this is my plan. This is what I'm sticking with, and just go for it. And so many times it just works out because that's what your plan was.
I think it becomes like a movement meditation thing. That's the best way I've been able to figure out most of the things that I really love is that I love it because I get lost in it. And whether that's for a split second or 12 minutes or whatever, like you get a sort of a feeling. It's not even like a Zen thing, but I think our brains are so overstimulated now with like, social media, with digital stuff, with TV, with whatever. We just have so many inputs now. The ability to not be thinking about anything but what is immediately in front of you is so good for our brains, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. Like water skiing probably feels, I mean, I'm sure it's very challenging and very hard. Same with like going fast, like snow skiing. Like I've said that a couple times, I think, on here, like going super freaking fast or relatively fast, super fast for me on snow skis. Like there's something like that's very meditative about that because I'm going fast enough where I can't think about anything else. I'm not worried about the stress of the day. I'm not worried about tomorrow or next week. It's like, I got to worry about this line and not blowing up. And I think the same thing in the gym. That's one of the things I still like love about what we do is like, man, whatever the implement is, like you kind of have to think about that or you're off somewhere else. Like you're just not able to give away what you're needing to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we can bring a lot of stuff to the gym, but ultimately, like I plan my day around the gym or water skiing. So it's like then when I'm there, or just in any situation too, whether it's work, when I'm there, I'm there. You know what I mean? I try not to bring outside stuff in. But yeah, once you're in a workout, man, I mean, there's not you don't have the opportunity. I mean, I'm sure one day you'll get Tim on here, but I've heard him talk about just that intensity just makes him leave everything behind so that he can just focus on that workout. I totally agree with that. Just I'm not thinking about what happened at work or the guy on the road that cut me off. It's just I have one thing to focus on. And that's also why I like to go to the gym, because you guys walk us through the warm up, the workout, and cool down. And I don't have to be like, what am I gonna do today? It's just like all I have to do is show up, and then boom, it's laid out.
So true. I say that to so many people. I'm sure I've repeated this on the podcast too, but like people come in and they apologize for the fact that they can't be self-motivated. Like I just can't do it on my own. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm like, no, that's you. That's everybody. Like there are people who can say they do it on their own, but their effort, I can do it on my own, but my effort level is terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen me in the back. Like Travis and I were working out yesterday. Like we're doing some hunting stuff now. We try and do that together, but there's some accountability level with somebody else that like the map's laid out in front of you. You do the thing and then you leave. And when somebody's counting you down, 3, 2, 1, go, here's what you're supposed to do. Here's what the goals are. You see other people doing it. Like, I just think there's a little bit of that. Like you said, you can turn your brain off. You don't have to think about anything. You also know you're going to get some efficacy through what you're doing. And then that's it. All we're asking of you is to show up and be nice. That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, how many times does a trainer like, all right, 1 or 2 more reps, and you probably would have quit 3 reps ago. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that goes a long way, especially for a whole year. If you got, let's say, 100 more reps over the year just because of accountability, it's not pretty simple, but it's like I've done the same thing in the back room, and I always come back to class because I just get bored or I just will start slacking. You know what I mean? So, and just, I think there's something about the personal interaction with just other people in the class that gets my energy going. Yeah. Not necessarily in a competitive manner, just chat and have a good time, making things fun,
Yeah, I'm sure I think it's a healthy community and a healthy push is really, really helpful and healthy, which just sounds redundant, but I'm sure you see the same thing in the boat. Like it's not that you're probably, I don't know, maybe you are. Are you competing with people in the boat?
I mean, like we're all a similar skill set. We might be skiing at different speeds, but that when we get to the line length, it's similar. We're all encouraging.
Right. Yeah. No, right. Perfect.
No, I mean, I mean, there's definitely probably like, oh, I got here today and you got there today. And, I mean, if somebody sets the bar high, then let's just hope that keeps going for the rest of everybody. But yeah, absolutely, for sure. And there's definitely people you ski with. And I mean, whether it's backcountry skiing where your life is dependent on them or whether you're having fun on the boat or in the gym, like there's people you just learn that you don't want to be a part of or be with, or people that push you well. Just, yeah, you don't need to always be around negativity, people that are hard on themselves. It's like, I'm sure they have good intentions, but people that are always upset and just, I use the line a lot, like, you're right where you need to be. If you're having a hard day, I mean, that's just your body. And I guarantee you, again, just keep coming back at some point, that's going to turn around. And hopefully you learn from that experience that, like, cool, my body just shuts down and does stuff some days. And how you handle that, it's up to you. But I just try to, like, be cool about crappy days or just take it a lot easier, and let everybody else have a good time.
Perfectly said. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with that anymore. And I think that the way you just said it was like what I was trying to you, and that it's like there's a balance between healthy competition and unhealthy competition. And we've had it like this is before your time. I'm sure you've seen it a little bit in some facets, but in our gym, we've had some unhealthy competition where it was like people start cheating or they start accusing people of cheating, or it's like this, like they start slighting the other person because they beat. It's like, all right, no, that is unhealthy. We're not doing that. But I think we have quite a healthy level of competition now. If you want to participate in it, it's like, okay, cool. Like I'm going to do this. You want to do that with me? Yeah, sweet. Okay, cool. You and I have done that a handful of times.
Yeah.
Like you'll encourage me to do a level up, or I'll be stubborn and not, and you'll beat me whatever it is, and I couldn't be any happy. There's no part of me that's like, stupid Aaron, freaking blah blah blah.
Yeah, what made me do that?
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that's a good way to put it. I don't know how we got on that subject, but I think it's the healthy community side of things. So
yeah, and there's plenty of people there that you find your class that is a good niche for you, or people that you strive to be. I mean, it doesn't matter age or gender or skill set. I mean, there's people that I look up to that just are really smooth in their movements, and whether it's even golf or CrossFit gym or something, like somebody that's just taking their time and working through stuff that just looks nice. It doesn't matter how far the ball goes or how much they lift, but just taking their time and just doing it right. I think that is so cool.
Well, again, I keep leaning back on the water ski thing, but like the guys that you ski with are twice your age.
Yeah.
But there's probably some lessons there, right? Like I think that maturity and level of ability they're at in their 60s is pretty damn cool, and I'm sure there's something to be learned from that.
Yeah, I definitely think a lot about. I mean, that's why we're kind of going to the gym, and that's why we're skiing daily and snow skiing, pushing ourselves, is because, I mean, on the other side too, some people are scared of that, right? They're just like, if I did that, I would be broken. And I'm sure just like there's the things that I've done, I'm sure I should have torn somebody's shoulders and backs, and maybe that's just somebody's body. But I mean, you just see these guys don't go out there and just try to PR on their first day skiing. We spend a lot of time out of the course before we ski the course. And again, it's muscle memory. We just know where to be and how to be strong behind the boat. And sure, things happen, but we take it easy, getting back into it. And sometimes we're like, dude, maybe you shouldn't be doing that, but I'm sure that age is so unknown. I think people think they need to slow down, but where that actual line is, who knows? I mean, I'm sure you see studies changing all the time. Like you're losing muscle mass after 30, and it's like, well, actually, if you keep working out, like you can maintain that, or progress it. So yeah,
that's one of the saddest things I ever hear when people are like, oh, I got whatever, my time is gone. I used to be able to do all those things, and like there is a grain of truth to it, but it's also just on a spectrum of some kind. Like you probably aren't skiing like you were when you were a national champion.
Yeah,
but you're still doing it to a fun high level.
I would say I'm a way more efficient skier, but I would also say that in water skiing and any sport, people just do it way more efficiently. Like even if you just look at aerobatics of like snowboarding and stuff, like people are like really throwing their turns and their flips, and now it's just like so smooth. I think athletes are stronger. I think the equipment out there I mean, in social media, man, you see all these things and you can watch it over and over and over and over, and somebody gets it right, and you can see them in Australia or South America or whatever, and you can see that within 3 hours, you know? So just being able to see that repetition and having better access, I think everybody's skiing stronger, healthier, safer. You know, it's like back in the day, it was just so like there's a pro skier and he talks about gorilla skiing and it's just like full out and it's scary to watch, you know, and he's
Yeah.
back injuries, but I mean, his girlfriend, wife is a ex CrossFit athlete. And so they're a really good team. They have a CrossFit gym and a ski lake that they host a bunch of camps at, and just, again, really focusing on being smooth and longevity because we do want to do it till we're 80, 90, who knows?
Yeah. Well, and I think again, it's like back to the acute performances. It is cool to see people in the gym because they push you a little bit because you can see what's possible. Like there's a lot of times where that is one of the biggest benefits I think of CrossFit, and that like the scoreboard kind of mentality. It wasn't necessarily the competition side of it. It was just the like, holy crap, I would have never imagined that possible. But then you kind of inch your way closer and closer and closer, and it's like the 4 minute mile thing. Good example. It's like it took somebody however long. Like there was like I think it was like six. I'm just making this up. So, but I want to say it was like a 6 month to a year period of time where there was a lot of people knocking on the door of a 4 minute mile, and nobody seemed to be able to do it. And they were like trying to say, okay, this is impossible. It's just not, the humans aren't able to do this. And then the dude did it. And then all of a sudden everybody started doing it. And it was like, oh, okay. Once you see what's possible, it's really neat to be able to try and pursue that. Even if I'm never going to run a 4 minute mile, but it also makes me recognize like, okay, well, maybe I can run a 5.5 minute mile. That's pretty good for me. But I think the same thing in terms of, so that's an acute stage, but like the long term, like, hey, like, you're skiing with guys I think they're in their 60s, right? I'm not making that up.
Late 60s, 70s, yeah.
Yeah. So that was probably unheard of for them, and when they were your age. But now, like thinking about, okay, well, if they can do that now, like that means you can probably ski till you're 100. Why not?
What
Well, that's cool.
People are living longer. I mean, who knows where all these peptides will go? I mean, just like things are just gonna make us healthier and live longer, you know? So that'd be cool.
Yeah. That I think provides a lot of hope. And I don't mean like hope, not in like I think it's just hope to be able to do things for a long period of time. Like that's why I'm still exist.
Yeah.
Because I want to do cool things.
Yeah, and I think too it's like it can truly change your timeline on anything, work or gym. Just, you know, if you want to lose 20 pounds in a year before you hit 40 or something, you know, it's like if you say like I have an unlimited amount of time, even if you're going to the gym once a week, like you can then, I always feel like right now my gym is not as focused because I'm water skiing all the time, and I'm just going to maintain so that come September and October, then I can ramp that back up. Why would I shut that off for the whole summer and then start even more fresh, you know? Like, so even if you, yeah, if you just delete this timeline thing, I think people's mentalness would be a lot, mentalness, yeah. There's not as much pressure.
Dude, again, so you couldn't say that any better than that. I think that the seasonality of sport for those of us that have done it a long time is really, it comes kind of second nature, and you understand that, you know, when I get back on a pair of snow skis this winter, I'm not going to feel as good as I did in late March when I'd skied all season. But it's okay. Like you get on there, you're probably better than you thought. You'll be a little bit tired, a little bit sore. You probably can't go as long as you wanted to, but it comes back. But it doesn't. And so because I stopped skiing in April doesn't mean I stopped skiing forever. It's just a seasonality. And I think you're right that with the fitness side of things, everybody's got this timeline and perspective of perfection where if they don't execute 5 days a week, then they might as well just stop altogether. Or if they have a bad day, or if they, you know, eat poorly, or the holidays come around, whatever it is, it's just, I think that getting comfortable with what you just said is so the ideal that I wish more people would understand.
Yeah.
Has that been second nature for you? Is that athletics that, or is that just something have you had to come to terms with that, or is that a natural thing for you?
It's probably like a long progression. And I mean, if you say that's athletics, it's cool, but I mean, I still compare myself to other people. I'm just like, I'm not athletic. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm unathletic. I mean, so
Wow.
you're never the best, right? I mean, maybe
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
1% of people that are the best, but I mean, I look out there. Let's say I did the open and I registered at, what do you think I'd be 20,000th in the world or something like that? Like, is that good? I don't know. You know what I mean? So then it's like, then that's another like level of comparison. Like if I put myself out there, but I think kind of what it comes down to is just like putting yourself in these like uncomfortable situations and just sucking at sucking, or don't suck at sucking. Make sense? Yeah. But
Yeah.
like then when you get back to snow skiing, you also have a part of muscle memory too. Like when you get up to a barbell, like you might not be strong, but your brain knows more what to anticipate. Like this is going to be heavy, and you just also like sometimes just that confidence of getting into it. Your muscles might be 3 months behind, but you're just like, I've done this. And like that confidence, I think probably comes down to that 4 minute mile. Like I can push myself this hard at the first 100 meters or 400 meters, like that's probably where people lost it, is they probably didn't push themselves in the beginning. I'm pretty sure the mile becomes a sprint at some point when you're good enough, I'd be curious what created them to break the 4 minute mile. Like, was it strength? Was it how they approached it? What did they do to warm up? The nutrition? Sure. Maybe it's just everything has slowly increased,
Yeah. I don't know. I think there's a book on it. I should read that book. If I find it, I'll read it and pass it along. We'll
Yeah.
digest. My favorite part about that, this is totally just an aside, but is how fast people are doing the beer mile now compared to the regular mile.
Yeah, and they're still beating us.
Well, I think they're running it in like 4.5. I think they're doing beer miles in like 4.5 minutes.
That's crazy.
And I just my brain wants to imagine the beer mile people running next to the people that just ran the 4 minute mile, and they're chugging beers next to these people, and they're really not. They're only like 12 seconds behind them on their laps, and how irritated the people would be that they're running. They're trying to break the 4 minute mile, and there's some drunk guy running next to them. That entertains me. So that's my gift to you. Now you can think about that.
We might have for the day.
There you go.
But I mean, just that knowing of where you're going to be. I mean, it's kind of like, I'm sure once you start in Standpoint Strength, that these issues would be with your business were just huge, and you're like, this could cripple me. And now you could probably get any phone call or text, and you'd be like, cool, I'm going head first into this. I can take care of this, right? I mean, nothing can really.
I'm not going to tempt fate like that.
No.
But you're right.
No,
I'm not going to say nothing, but yes.
You're not scared to look at your phone at 10 o'clock at night, per se. If somebody texts you, most likely been there, done that sort of thing. But yeah, it's just, feeling comfortable in those tough situations.
Totally. Yeah, it's a maturation. I think the problems become just different. They're longer term horizon stuff, which, yeah, I don't know. You're exactly right. It's the seasonality of it is the same in that you just understand the process better, I think, where ups and downs and undulations, and you have good seasons and bad seasons and good years and bad years, and it's not always actually that's a great thing I'm going to convey. I'm going to steal and give it all my mentees, is that I think you get used to when you get started. We started the gym, it was just like every single month was better than the 1 month before. The 1 year was better than the year before, and so on and so on and so on. And at a certain point, like, you just can't keep doing that. Now we've been doing it 13 years, and there's inevitably going to be bad seasons and bad years, and they've been terrible. But it's a good lesson to learn that it's not always going to be up and up and up and up. And amen, forever and amen, because it's just not possible.
But your brand probably keeps getting stronger in that time frame. Like maybe your numbers don't go up, but your brand is becoming more refined, and the quality of what you guys do is better.
Well, yeah, and I think that was the is like the resilience of the brand, or what. It's the same thing like with, I'll actually make this comparison in the gym for people, is like, I've seen some absolute dog shit PRs, like the worst, most ugly, like, oh my God. In fact, have you ever seen the Dave Castro deadlift?
No.
It's like a 40-second deadlift. It's like literally the ugliest thing in the history of the world. I've seen PRs like that. And it's like, okay, well, that was technically a PR. But if you did less weight and it looked better, Like there's a qualitative experience that I would consider a PR, even if it doesn't look as good. So yeah, I mean, same thing. And I think a good correlation to that for people is like, okay, well, you might not hit the number, you might not do things. It might be a lifestyle PR, and that like, okay, you've got kids, you've got a new business, you've got this, like, and you're just barely underneath your other thing as a cumulative thing. Like that's I would consider that a PR. So good job. Like all the things that constrain what may have held you back in the past, like you're actually doing better than you were before.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure there's a lot of temptations with High Rocks or other CrossFit brands that come out, or F45 or whatever, to like brands you could adopt or like, change your style to, and then you'd be branching out and doing yoga. And like, I'm sure you talk about all these apps that, have your programming in, and it's like you just kind of stay on your track and do what you know is best. That's going to give you the best result instead of like trying to impress every single person there, because they want to do it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Shiny objects are tempting a lot. So let's talk about your business, Sand Creek Customware.
Sand
We
Creek.
haven't even gotten into that. We got to plug your. How long have you guys owned that now?
Yeah. So again, one of my water ski partners, Peter Gillis, he owned the business before us. So we bought that business from them about 4 years ago. It's been kind of a collaboration of different screen printing, embroidery, and other apparel decoration businesses that have kind of come together to Sand Creek Customware. And we were downtown Sandpoint about a year ago, almost 1 year ago, and we've recently moved out to Ponderay. We've slowly been growing and adding new machines, and started with 3 to 4 employees, and now we're up to 11.
Jeez,
It's 4 years.
that's awesome.
Something that I run it with my wife Ellie. It's not really a business we ever anticipated getting into, but after skiing with Peter and seeing all the cool water skis on the wall, how could I say no? No, I think it was presented kind of like as a good quality of life, just like a good stable business that we could have a good quality of life. Um, Little did I know it would become a passion, and you want to see how good of quality you can create, or what jobs you can take on. So it's just a whole new world of things to do. And I'm sure you've seen too, is just like as a business, you kind of enter in these other avenues of, whether it's real estate or shipping, or, just all these things that you don't just become a printer, you're now managing people and, warehouses and all kinds of stuff. So I think it's been cool to become part of the community and just see I don't think this job would be nearly as cool in a bigger town.
Mm-hmm.
You're truly a part of what goes on, businesses, events, things like that. And I'm sure you just see everything come through your gym, all business owners. It's just cool to be in the know and be a part of that stuff.
Yeah, and you guys, like, what I really appreciate about you guys is the way you operate. Like, you just, like, the customer service is such a blatant, or not a blatant, but like I don't know. I think that word gets tossed around so much, but like the customer service level that you guys provide is like just that's the separation between you guys and anybody. Like it's just cool.
Yeah.
And there's a feels like a big company the way it operates, but it has the personality of a small town business. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the professionalism's there to a degree at which like it doesn't fit. Like it feels what you guys put out incredibly professional, but the feel is still so small town, which I think is like what I would be pursuing, like if I were you.
Totally.
So that's awesome.
And I hope my only interaction isn't with my customers in here. Whether it's the farmer's market or out on the lake or anywhere, like I hope to see them out there and, yeah, kind of break some of the rules and, be more friends with our customers, or, you see anybody everywhere in this town, and it's good or bad, it doesn't matter what event you're at. Everybody's everywhere. So I truly enjoy that.
I dabbled in screen printing 20 years ago. 20? I don't know. Long time ago. Long time ago. And there was some reward. There was a lot of reward in seeing my work being worn around town.
Yeah.
Like that was cool to be like, holy crap. Like I made that. That's neat.
Yeah. And I think it's kind of just like a joke amongst contractors with their wife. Like you're driving around, I worked on that house. It's like, later at the grocery store, oh, I did that hat. Oh, I made that shirt. You know what I mean? So yeah. And I think there's just, it's somewhat simple, but at the same time, there's so much detail. There's so many different types of shirts, so many different hats. There's always something new that somebody wants to do on a different material or on something super tiny or something huge or whatever. I think it was really daunting when we first took over to learn the whole scope of everything. But then now, when you get a goofy tent or a golf bag or something, when you're just learning one new thing, that can be a fun project where you're really twisting your brain and then you figure it out, and then it's rewarding at the end. You know, in the middle, you're kind of like, this sounds is so hard, and it clicks. Or again, you it's just again kind of building relationships in the community of people out there, knowing who to ask and the right places to go. Kind of what we're talking about with yours, it's like everything kind of becomes a little less scary. You might not know how to do it, but you know where to go to get the answer. Then once you've mastered it, then now you've got one more notch in your belt. So it's it's fun.
Yeah, totally. What are your like favorite things to work on right now?
I mean, well, hats are pretty cool.
For our audio listeners, Aaron has a unbroken hat on.
The new style is upside down and backwards, so I figured I'd mess around with that. That's how we approach our workouts, right? Everything unbroken.
Well, if you're doing a handstand, that actually would read correctly, would it not?
Yeah, well, when you put them in the machine, you actually put them in upside down. So I was like, oh, it's cool. It's like it actually sews so you can read it. Yeah, no, hats are pretty fun. I do like to, I mean, hats can get kind of complicated. People want a lot of detail on them, but if you kind of keep them simple with a little bit of question in them, you know, I like them as like a conversation starter, or you can put all your details on your shirt and stuff. So it's fun to have fun, you know, and I think it's a great way to get your, I mean, we think of garments as kind of like business cards, you know, you can hand them out. People are going to wear your brand everywhere and things like that. So kind of just walking billboards, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. All right, man. We almost got an hour after our multiple attempts. So
yeah, I like it.
I'll let you get back to work. Let you make some more apparel for the beautiful citizens of Sandpoint.
Heck yeah.
Our businesses.
Cranking it out.
Thanks for doing this, man. Appreciate it.
That was fun. It wasn't as bad as I was working it up to be. No, I wasn't.
Good. You should start your own. It'll be great. How do people get a hold of you for making cool ass apparel they get to wear around?
You can visit us at sandcreekcustomware.com or email us at info@sandcreekcustomware.com.
Perfect.
Yeah, we got all of our apparel online. You can shop and cruise around the garments you want, and all of our contact information on there too. So
yeah, you guys make it super easy. So I've done this with other people, and not a ton, but I have had experience where like this is madness. You guys make it really easy, and it continues to get even easier and easier and easier. So it's pretty sweet.
I think that's kind of part of why we have more employees nowadays. Is we have 2 graphic designers, and then a sales team, and then we have the decorators per se, the screen printers and the embroiderers. So it's, you know, everybody can really focus and hone in on their own portion of the job, especially if you just kind of have an idea, but you don't know what you want to do or how best or what would work well for you. So just come to us with an idea, and we'll send you a mock-up, you know, with the logo on you, shirt, hat, whatever you're thinking, and we'll work with you from there.
Beautiful. All right, man. I will see you later in the gym.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks, Aaron. All right. Thank you for listening. That was Aaron Vahrenwald from Sand Creek Customware. I know we plugged it at the end, but if you need garments or stuff designed, they are truly awesome. Sand Creek Customware. And if you feel like after listening to that you need to get on the bandwagon and join this gym so you can get better at life, water skiing, snow skiing, or just some support during the tough seasons of life where you feel like you're trying to do the all or nothing and need some more acknowledgement and help to get through those things, just shoot me an email, kenny@sandpointstrength.com, and I'll help get you all squared away. Or if you go to sandpointstrength.com, you can book a no sweat intro, and you can just pick a time and we'll come and chat with you. All right. Talk to you soon.